What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. No, I'm not dead. Nothing bad has happened. If you've been paying attention to the community tab or Zodiac Duels, I've been at A-Con, and there's been some awesome cosplays. I took a lot of video there. I'll probably edit that together once my downstairs setup is complete. Gonna be using that as my editing computer. So go into Fry's Electronic. But what you're here for, the market review, the market watch, so to speak. Everyone's freaking out and messaging me about FLOD falling. And I think there's a very, very obvious reason it's falling, and it's right here at the very top of your page. Oh yeah, the special editions came out, which means they're going to get ripped open by vendors, ripped open by players. The hunt is on. Actually, some of you guys messaged me that you took advantage of the 20% off on eBay to buy these, and in our Discord, someone showed me they ripped open 2 impermanents out of their first 2 special editions. That's pretty crazy. They said thank you for the blessing on the pools. No problem. Down to bless pulls anytime on stream. So infinite impermanents. Already here at 75-ish for the first heads. We've got motivated sellers because the special editions are out. And the other thing you have to realize about these price falls, like Ghost Bell over here, you know, 47 here, but wait, eBay, $40 first ed? No, these are unlims. These are brand new. And then we do have around the $40 mark also first ed. The market's gonna tank for 2 reasons. Nationals is around the corner. Where's the rest of the regionals? There are none for about 2.5 months, because until Worlds completes and we start the new season for Worlds, there's not regionals. The only way you can get your invite is at the WCQ until, you know, the next wave of regionals. So we're waiting till after Worlds and the new season to start up, which takes some time. Again, we're going to ramp up like never before with the 200th YCS, but this off-season, I feel like a broken record a little, like always check both, the off-season's coming. It's going to cause even this set to fall. Remember Ash Blossom last year? I just want to use this as an example. It went from 70 to 40 for the secret, and people sold those secrets, you know, pretty cheap, especially with the reprint announcement. But it went down to 40 and then went back up for a while and then went down because of the reprint. Yeah, remember last offseason. So impermanence is kind of our Ash Blossom. Don't make the same mistake. You know, if you're not playing in an event, you might want to let it go. Yeah, you might want to. Ibly going down as well. The Unicorns dipping below the $20 mark just a little bit. Griffin down to 18. Everything is just creeping on down, and it's going to continue to do so as we enter the offseason. Even though these are the safest cards to get, they're not in the Megatins. It's going to continue to happen to them, all because of the special edition and the offseason. Perhaps the biggest victim here, Altergeist Multi-Faker. Ooh, $6.50 below the $7 mark. Oh, Multi-Faker. This deck's good. I actually have a few top cuts from some nationals that I get to show you guys coming up. Grand Soil and Mulan Glacia. So let's talk about these special edition promos. The set itself is really good in terms of value, which is why so much is getting ripped open. Not the promos. Yes, Mulan Glacia kind of needed a reprint, but here, really, every single good reprint that was special editions. Solemn Strike started out at 5 to 6, dipped down to 3, went up. Cyframe Gear Gamma started out at 5 to 6, currently at $1.20, unbelievably to me. And now these starting out at $2, that should tell you where these are going to end up. Grand Soil likely it's going to end up in a lot of people's bulk. Mulan Glacia probably going to end up around the $1 till it gets hyped again. But yeah, every single card here, for the most part, you know, is just going to go downhill. And vendors are trying to make, you know, their money off the new super rares and stuff. It's just not a great promos for a special edition overall compared to what we've had. And next up is very similar. Mulan Glacia was kind of 20. We have Harbinger, which was bordering that. And we have Super Agent, which was kind of falling on its own anyway. So do keep that in mind as you're popping special editions. But if you got, you know, that 20% off, Hey, that's pretty good. Trickstar Reincarnation back down towards 40 already. The coolant was pretty fast with this one, and will continue to do so. It's Code of the Duelist, so likely to be in the Megatins, since we got the rest of everything. But we'll see if it just gets hit instead of put in the Megatins. We'll really have to see how that falls out. But there's multiple available for 40 now. It's nice to see that cool down already. Light Stage hasn't cooled down over here on TCG Player, but Candina did a little, and do recognize that you have alternate options. I guess the one good thing Star Pack's Reigns did, the one thing it was good for, was keeping these prices a little bit cooler on the Trickstars. I could have easily seen these pulling the World Chalice hype that originally happened, and everything going to $10. You know how Guard Dragon, Ibly, those Ultras went to $10, got ridiculously inflated. I think Star Pack Reigns, to its credit, stopped that from happening, even with its extremely low quantities on market. So we do have to credit Star Pack Reigns with that one. It was just kind of a deterrent, because like, ooh, I'm a vendor. Can I rip these open yet? Can I got this stuck in my shop. I'd love to rip these open and make something. That's kind of what held it back. Just going over and showing kind of the stable value instead is like, This is staying. Engage is staying. It's kind of the chase card out of the set. There were limited amounts of Dark Saviors released, and the booster boxes themselves are ridiculously priced right now too. But everything else, because it's so top heavy, even Widow Anchor continuing to fall like I said it would, back towards its actual original price in like 32 or something it was. I'm pretty good at calling that one. For Beat is surpassing my expectations on how long it's staying up. How long it'll do this, I don't know. I expect it to be like Magic Bullets, though, as it doesn't do much. It'll continue to go back down towards like $8, even though it's a shorter print. Afterburners, I was surprised how many copies were played, but staying at 12, good for it. And Mayhem for Hire, staying up here as well. I expect this to be very similar to Magic Bullet pricing, though. I expect it to go down towards 8s. Somewhere, sometime. Allure of Darkness going up. People are picking them up right now. Very smart pickup. And Toon Table's actually still down here. People kind of ignoring that one. But there's a lot of really great things to pick up at such low prices, all thanks to the top-heavy part of this set. Going into Legendary Collection, Kaiba. Remember, this is getting an unlimited rewave. Droll and Lockbird here at $21 now. It got hyped a little bit more. It is definitely best hand trap of this format, in my opinion, and many other duelists. But again, the hand trap's keeping it top heavy. You're actually seeing deals pop up like Regeki's at 12s now, just continuing to fall down slowly. But some things I'd pick up like right now are Beals, just to have them. Secret Rare printing looks way better than the Gold Rare. Delinquent Duo for past format. I'm actually shopping past formats because we're bringing back Tabletop, if you haven't seen, but we're going to go past formats. Getting cards back in Billy's hand, rehabilitating him a little. So most of it I'm going to go lowest rarity. This is kind of nice. Secret Rare Del Duo. Very, very cheap. It's a card I would have picked up before, but now I have an excuse to have a couple copies of some cards. We have the Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere Mode. I warned you guys, memes come into reality. A complete buyout on TCG Player. We do have foreign copy left over here on eBay, which shows kind of the half-assed buyout a little bit, but then it's trying to settle at 5 over here on eBay. I warned you guys, if something's a meme, it tends to come into reality in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, and I've actually seen several other YouTubers like pushing it as a surprise tech, or something you should have for the WCQ, you should have access to. I agree, you should have access to it. It does eat your normal summon. I'm personally a Kaiju fan. Weird, but Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere Mode, definitely a card to consider. Also, with Code of the Duelist, I was just looking through. You might want to sell a lot of this because, remember, Code of the Duelist can end up in these Megatins. It's Macker, Code of the Duelist, I believe, and 2 other sets. I believe FLOD's the one not available. So you do want to kind of consider that moving forward. Firewall is slowly dripping down because of that, but on eBay, it's actually just plummeting even further. And then we have other cards that are up for, being able to be in there, and they're slowly going down too. Topologic's an amazing card. If it somehow skips being in there, I've got to give it credit that it'll be really, really big if it's not in there. Like, ooh, if this card misses the Megatins, it's gonna go up. But they're doing Borreload. I can't imagine not Topologic and Firewall in the secret slots. Going on into some other sets, somebody asked me if Tour Guide from the Underworld is over or undervalued at its TCG price, and I personally think at 45s, it's starting to feel a little undervalued, and I'll back that up in a second. First, though, eBay is way higher already. It's actually having trouble getting listings on eBay. So we do see over here that it is immediately lower and with very few quantities in the price range of it. But I think looking at past formats, people are starting to look at that a lot more. Let's look at Dark Arm Dragon. This is the secret rare, right? The secret rare first ed lowest is now at 82 on TCG Player. And I did not expect it to pass the turbo, but it has. It's 80 over here. It's passed it in both places. We come over and we see it at $73 here and 78. I thought long-term eventually it would get there, but not this quickly. The collector's market is definitely shaping itself up. It's definitely becoming something different than it once was. And I think with that, I feel like people still like the ultimate rares more here and there, and I feel like Tour Guide's one of those. Like the EXVC Tour Guide just hasn't risen. It's been like that for a lot of newer cards, right? Like if we go to Tour Guide, right, and we look at it, the EXVC much cheaper. Let's actually try to find the lowest first ed near mint. $18, basically a third of the current price on the low. It's pretty crazy to me that there's such a difference, but we see this with Pot of Duality. We see that with a lot of the newer collector mark, but we're going all the way back to 2008 with this card, my ancient win, and we actually see just the scarcity of it being able to be near mint, and the real value that people are holding on this format is causing it to do that, and thus it's for first ed near mints are beating the ultimates now. So you kind of want to consider here and there, like how old are these cards, how much collector's value do they have, how much of an imprint do they have. Those kids that used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, they have real jobs now. It's similar to the Pokemon market. They want a piece of that nostalgia and want to be able to play past formats with max rarity. Man, it's crazy that this is actually headed back towards above 100. But thanks for watching today's Market Watch. What did you guys think? I'm personally glad that the FLOD is simmering a little bit in its insanity of prices and is coming down for you guys, and it should continue to do so as the off season happens. But what are you guys going to hold on? Actually, a question for you guys: what are you guys going to hold on to and gamble that won't be in the Megatins? Top Logic's I would pick it, but man, it's screaming to me that it's going to get reprinted. But if it's not, that's a crazy one to me. What are you guys going to hold on to instead of let go? And of course, Battles of Legend might shape up that view a little bit more even. And do keep in mind that everything's on the chopping block that's not super recent for Battles of Legend. Do also keep that one in mind. Thanks for watching, everybody.